I know, right?
You did have to show, like when I was there last year, you did like for PhotoPass pictures, you did have to show that you were logged into Disney Plus. So like they were serious about making sure that you were.
Yeah, that's dude. Lord have mercy on.
They were serious that you were like in Disney Plus and had it.
Can you even imagine a company who on the best of days makes me sign in to my Disney experience 3 million times?
Exactly.
The number of times
Like,
you
come
have to
on,
sign in
Dave,
on that day.
I sign in and 00331936 is my name. That's all I know. That'll be on my tombstone.
It's so crazy.
yeah, it is. It's so
But
crazy.
I hate the fact that I get a notification every time I sign into a Disney account in my Gmail. I'm like,
Yes.
are you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't get those because I don't get notifications, or maybe it goes in spam. I don't get those, but
It probably goes into spam. They send an email every time.
But I'm very good about I unsubscribe to all kinds of stuff. I hate getting junk stuff in my Gmail. I'm pretty on top of that because that stuff drives me bizarre.
You mean berserk?
Yeah, well, I don't want to it freaks me out when I log into my Gmail. It's like you have 72 emails. Like I was just on this 15 minutes ago. I was just eating a sandwich. You know,
right?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, let's do questions. So if you have questions, put them in the live chat. Hey, Margie, thanks for being here, and thanks for everybody else who is with us. We are answering your questions, and I have question number 1 that is aimed at Ricky with an emoji that looks like this.
Oh no, that's never good.
I know. See, baby, ready? You still sound robotic, but we'll make it happen.
Sorry.
I'm hungry. Hey, Corvin of Amber, give me a thumbs up if you're available to record Wednesday. That'll save me an email. 6 o'clock East, 6 o'clock Central, because you're on the calendar, I believe. I think you're next up for next week.
Yay.
Betsy, I do have your question in here somewhere. I saw it today. Kathy's here. All right. This is episode 2142. Here we go.
Okay.
Welcome to episode 2142 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman for BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at, did I not say happy? Do I usually say happy Wednesday? Yeah, I do. I didn't even say that. But the whole time I was like,
wait, what? What show am I on?
We've only been doing this.
Which one is this?
Yeah.
You throw me off, Ricky, because you sound like Mr. Roboto. It's crazy.
Oh my God. I don't know what to say. I still sound like it?
Yeah, kind of. You do. Okay. But, it's kind of fun to have a robot in. We'll go.
I can switch my headphones again.
You're good.
Okay.
Because Taco Bell will have the longest line.
I understand. Yeah, God forbid. Okay.
Well, hey, man. Dude, sorry. Here we go. It's kind of fun. We'll make it happen. It's AI. It's AI Ricky. Here we go. 2142. Do I say happy Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay, because I totally forgot. Yeah, I do. Okay, now I'm totally screwed up.
Oh my God.
It's been a day. Here we go. God, I'm sorry. I gotta get this back up. Okay, here we go. Happy.
Do you need makeup again? Because now we've delayed. Bring in makeup again for
Where's
Mike.
Makeup
and
Mike?
hair.
Makeup.
First place Cardinals. Okay, here we go.
Makeup.
Five up on the roost. Here we go. Okay, Cord. Okay, cool. I'll send you an email link Wednesday at 6 o'clock Central, and we'll record Corbin of Amber. Cool. Send me some notes about your trip, just brief notes. Email them sometime tomorrow if you don't mind. Okay, here we go. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to episode number. That's not right. That isn't what I usually say, is it?
No. You say welcome to the Be Our Guest podcast first.
It's Wednesday. Or I don't know what you say.
Dude, what do I say? Hang on.
I don't listen to this podcast.
Hang on.
I don't listen to this show.
What?
Where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
I like that.
And more importantly, for less traffic.
You went too far.
I did. I'm trying to back up. Welcome to episode 2000. Wait, one click more.
You could have just left it alone.
Welcome to episode 2000. So I don't say happy Wednesday. There we go. Dude, I can't believe I'm getting old. I can't remember what I do anymore. I'm getting scared. There's no bloopers reel because I just accidentally hit delete too on top of all this.
What? This is the best stuff we ever record.
Yes, because he doesn't want to show that he messes up.
It's on YouTube, so if you're here, you got to see it live. It'll live forever in the video form. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. Yes. You get the this is it. It's on YouTube. So there you go. I can't remember. Okay. Now I can't. Okay, here we go. This is gonna be so screwy because now it's in my head. Now it's like
it is.
I got like yips. Like it's like where the guy can't throw the ball back to the pitcher.
Yes.
Like I'm a catcher that can't throw the ball to the pitcher. I got the yips. Okay, here we go. Welcome to episode 2142 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having a tremendous week, and hopefully everybody that headed back to school, teachers and students, are having a great beginning of the school year. I know some folks have been back a few weeks, but some folks went back this week, and some folks are getting ready to go back in the next couple. So make it a great school year, and we're going to take you to school with some listener questions as we do every Wednesday. So to lead us off today, we're heading down to Atlanta with Ricky from the mouseforless.com. What's up, Ricky? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. It is a glorious day just because. I mean, it's Wednesday. It's just a glorious day. I'm going to throw that out there. I hope your Wednesday is glorious too. And it's the halfway point. So hopefully it's going well.
I love Wednesdays because, like you say, you're getting there. And, Fridays are big days here with football. We start on the road this week, the Hull Vikings, and can't wait. Starting off, hopefully we'll see.
That's good. That's good. So,
all right. I had to say that because our first question of the day does address high school football in your area.
Gosh. Okay. That's never good.
Bring something to your attention. So we're going to do that in just a second. But first, we also have the co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel, Pam Forrester, from up near Pittsburgh. What's up, Pam? Happy Wednesday.
Near Pittsburgh. It's true. It is. We are near Pittsburgh. Happy Wednesday, everybody. We're coming up on the time of year, which is my favorite, the fall season. So I'm loving. It's already sort of felt like fall here for a little bit. How about there, Mike?
Same. It's been, in the evenings, like mid to low 70s. It's been, it's given us a taste. It's nice.
It's like bonfire weather. And Ricky, I know it's going to be hot where you are for a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm good with the hot. It's all good. It's all good. It'll be like 70 degrees. It'll be fine. Perfect. Yeah.
So actually, I want to do kind of a show, and this I haven't even told you the ladies this, but I have an idea for a fall themed show for Friday. So mood, because we'll be in September before you know it. And also, I want to be the first to wish everybody a very happy Disney Plus Day to all who celebrate here in the next month.
Yes, not everyone celebrates.
No, not everyone. Not everyone.
I did hear that we had to drag you away from putting up the Disney Plus tree, and
yes, I had them out. They're going up tonight, so that I'm ready for Disney Plus Day.
You should be. Yeah.
We're doing, I've got to make the menu yet.
Okay.
And definitely doing dinner for like 20 or 25 of our closest friends who also celebrate.
That's good. It's got to be a lot of blue stuff because I feel like blue is like the themed color for.
Yes. Neon-y, blue, things like that. Yeah. We'll be looking at that.
That's good.
I honestly haven't. The only thing I've watched on Disney, I did watch Kenobi, which I really did dig Kenobi. Kenobi was
agreed.
awesome.
It was I agree.
But that's the only thing I've watched other than I do watch the old classic Star Wars movies. That is the only reason that I have Disney Plus is so that I don't have to put in the DVDs into the DVD players.
But just asking for a friend, but wasn't it celebrated a different date last year?
Yes.
Okay. So I have to figure out the schedule. It's sort of like Thanksgiving. It's the fourth Thursday of the month or the lowest attended
day. It was celebrated in November last year, and I know because I was there for Disney Plus Day at Disneyland. So
that's quite the difference. Then
it is very much a big difference. It's a whole few months. Yeah.
You must have to they take into consideration pi or something like that. You divide by the square root of something, I think.
Probably.
Or you just use it to boost theme park attendance, which is what they're doing. Anyway, also Kathy says I should watch I did watch the Imagineering Story.
That's good.
That was so long ago. Here's the thing though, like I bought the package like I think I bought 3 years like all in one swoop.
Yes, when it first came out.
Yeah, so I haven't paid for it since then.
Yes.
So I don't know if I'll renew or not when it comes back around, because I just don't watch. I only watch sports. I mean, to be honest. So unless they get like a, but they, they have ESPN, so they could put some sports on there, and then, they might keep me. So who knows? But hey, if you are a Disney Plus subscriber on Disney Plus Day, which I believe is September 8th,
yeah,
I think you get in 30 minutes early. I mean, even if you're not an on-site guest, just that one day, and on-site guests get in an hour. That's like retro day to the parks there. So
there you go.
I'd be with the cast members early entry that day, because you got to, if you're a Disney Plus member, you got to show your phone logged into your account to Disney Plus.
You do.
That won't be a nightmare to show people.
No.
Like Sam said, logging into any kind of Disney account can be, a
challenge under normal circumstances. Yeah.
Yes. And so then you're going to have resort guests also proving that they're resort guests. I mean, you're going to have just all kinds of stuff. So what is Disney Plus Day? Disney Plus Day it's the latest holiday to sweep the nation. Jennifer's asking, it's just a day where Disney celebrates all their streaming services, and they launch a lot of new shows and promote things.
And they have at the parks, they have photo pass opportunities, and they have character cavalcades and character meet and greets and snacks that are themed for Disney Plus Day. So it's just a little extra day for guests to enjoy at the parks. So
here's the other breaking news. Besides, because we are going to hustle to, like Pam said, prepare the meal for September 8th. So everything blueberries and stuff like that. But the other breaking news that has Disney fandom up in arms, and with this kind of news, you don't want anybody with their arms up at this point, because H2O products are being discontinued. Oh my gosh! Oh no! Look out! We are all going to smell terrible. And I have so much of that green shampoo, because that green shampoo is the nectar of the gods that makes my locks glow and look good. So I don't know what sea salt is. Like I've been in the sea. I mean, only Caribbean Sea. Probably not the best sea in the world. I haven't ever been like in the Mediterranean. I'm not that fancy, but I don't know if that salt matters, but it says sea salt on that thing. And I'm like, I'm fancy. I'm having some sea salt. I'm not using Suave, that I get at Target. So those days are numbered apparently. And I sent a picture to Ricky when she broke that news to me this morning via text. And I said, I use this stuff like all the time, I don't care. And you're like, just warn me immediately. Stop. That stuff's going to
stop using it. You'll get so much money on eBay for all your old bottles.
Gold. So Pam, I know you are a big H2O product person. So when you heard this news, I mean, how long did it take you to get up off the floor, or is life going to be okay? Are we going to make it through this? I mean, we've made it almost through COVID, tough supply chain issues.
Yeah.
Can we make it through the end of H2O products?
So I love the smell of it more than I love the actual products. I will say. The one I use consistently, probably even now, is the body wash, because it reminds me of Disney, of being on a Disney vacation, right? It smells like the resorts. The cruise had it, that. I don't typically use the shampoo or the conditioner. It just, not my jam, but I think Steve does, at different times. I mean, I don't pay a lot of attention as to what, I figure he's a grown man. Yeah. He can take care of his shampoo.
He's got his own
conditioning needs, right? So, but he probably is not quite as picky as some. And I think I've heard that from a lot of people. Like, they love the smell, may not be the best with their hair or whatnot. But, I'm sad anytime, a company like this is not going to be there any longer, I think, because there was something about it. Like, it wasn't, a huge company. And so they're going to be, closing that part down. So that's kind of sad. But who knows what Disney will bring us? Maybe it'll be something even bigger and better. And then soon we'll all associate that with
that smell with Disney. Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, I'm going to stop here for a second because we have a loop. And I think it might be me. Hang on. Just want to make sure I don't have two running. Two instances. How would I check that on a PC? Sorry. I'm gonna,
It's okay.
because that could be me now that I'm thinking about it.
You mean this whole time?
It might be. There's definitely a loop open. Because I can hear it right
A
there.
loop.
All right, well, let me do this. I have an idea.
Okay.
So I'm going to save that part of the show.
Yeah, please do. Don't make us do it again.
Nope. So that's episode 2141.
And I agree with Deanna. H2O products, curly hair, and Florida humidity is a recipe for a bad hair day. I agree with that. I only like their bath, their bath soaps too. I don't use their shampoo or conditioner either. So I'm with you.
Where do I see? Hang on. I think I got it. Hang on. Let me see.
You got it?
Hang on. Where do I see a taskbar? Nope. I don't care if it's for Bradbury's birthday. Where can I see my apps? I hate this stupid PC. I'm never on a PC.
Why do you have a PC for the podcast?
Because my dad hooks it up and my dad uses PCs. Where is Coolite Pro? It should warn me though. It shouldn't let me do this. Let me check one thing real quick here. Check.
Oh, my ears.
Okay, hang on. All right, we're gonna go with it.
Okay.
It did.
Fix it?
No, that wasn't.
Oh. No.
Wait, what was that?
What was that?
It. Hang on. Now talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Are
gone.
you in here twice?
It was a duplicate Chrome window. It wasn't a duplicate.
Oh my gosh, too funny.
I knew there was a loop because it had to be something was coming through twice, like at the same time. That's why you get that sound. Okay.
Yeah,
good.
it's gone now.
Thank God. It was a two because what I did was I restarted the computer so that it would sound better last night, and then I had to refire everything up. Okay, let me get this back over.
So Pam,
It's the
this whole
last
time it
Shut
was
up.
Mike.
Yeah, you know what? I made one mistake every once in a while. Okay.
Whole time it was Mike
Every once in a
Roman
while.
trying
Every
to
once
blame
in a
it
while.
on me, trying to blame it on my microphone. Yeah. I see. how
Well,
this
we
works.
did hear the
You didn't hear the air conditioner, but
Yeah.
still.
Yes. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's get to your listener questions. That's why you're here. And the robots now from the first 10 minutes of this podcast have left us. I know that we had the AI versions of the Be Our Guest podcast, but we have corrected that problem and we are here. Yes, I was running 2 instances of Chrome in the background, so I figured it out. So let's get to the listener questions. First question, like I said, is directed at Ricky. I like this because we have a little Disney and we have a little back to school for her with her local college or high school football area. She says, "Hey, Mike and crew." This is Jamie from Atlanta, Georgia. "My family and I will be headed down to Walt Disney World next month. After trying without luck for the last few trips, we're finally able to snag a Space 220 dinner reservation for our upcoming trip. After looking at the menu, we realized it's $80 a person. Ouch. We will splurge on good food and a cool experience for sure, but we have an 11 and 13-year-old who will be charged as adults, but will most likely eat like birds. Will my husband be leaving the restaurant mad at our kids for not eating, or is this such a cool experience and the food's so good that we'll be glad that we did it?" Okay, so she has a second part, but let me ask Pam about that part. What do you think? If the kids are not big eaters, is the experience still worth it? And is there enough there for the kids to still, I don't think you're going to get value out of $80 of food, right? For kids. I mean, you got to factor in the cool factor of the overall experience, but what do you say to that?
Gosh, this is tough. It really is. I'm going to say from the get-go, your husband may be a little mad. I just think that that's the case. We have had good food there, and it is a really cool experience. I'm just not sure that it's worth that. Especially for a larger family. I mean, it's easy for Steve and I because it's usually the two of us, and it's not that much of a financial commitment, whatnot. I do think it's a cool experience, and I think there are lots of other cool experiences that are less expensive. The other thing you may want to try to do is get a reservation at the lounge where you're not locked into that $80 prefix menu. There is no avoiding that. If your child is over a certain age, you're going to be charged the prefix price. But if you're in the lounge, you don't have to order that. You can order from the lounge menu. They have one there available. So maybe you want to try that, and then you'll still be able to experience it and do that. If you're not able to get an ADR before you leave home, the other thing you may want to try to do is to check at the podium there at Space 220 to see if there are any availability at the lounge. But I have heard lately that since they've opened the lounge up for ADR seating, those lounge seats to walk up are much, much more difficult to get than they ever were before. So,
yeah, I like the idea of looking at the lounge. I mean, if you're kind of worried about the money, but it's one of those things. Here's what I say to something like this. If you really want to do it, and it sounds like they're kind of excited because they've been trying to snag it, do it once and just look at it as an experience. But, if you're going to be so worried about the money that the whole time you're worried about it, you probably won't enjoy it, cancel it. But I mean, if you really have wanted to do it, go after it. Because it is cool, but I mean, to me, there's no meal that's worth $80. I know some people are foodies and totally meals are. I mean, because Scott and I are really good friends, and Scott's totally in for like really fancy meals, or I'm not, and that's totally his thing. Like, that's where we're different. I just, to me, and a Texas Roadhouse steak tastes as good as a California grill steak. I mean, I've never been to California grill, but I don't care. That's just something that's just but the experience would be fun. Okay, so here's the important part, Ricky. Following up. On another note, I was listening to your show today, and you were discussing high school football starting. I realized that Ricky lives in my hometown. Tell her that it's the Buford Wolves, not the Longhorns, and they are good. They've won the state championship for the last 3 years. It's a big deal. How can she not know this? Thanks for all the help, and go Wolves. Blessings, Jamie. So you have a 3-time state champion football team.
There are actually, I think there are 2 football teams though around me. I know the Wolves because I've seen I think I've seen their merchandise and like the Kroger and stuff like that. But I've also seen the Longhorns too. So like I think I'm like on a line where like I'm near like 2 different high schools. So yeah.
You need to get behind the Wolves, it sounds like.
Apparently, I need to get behind the Wolves.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I mean, it sounds like the Wolves are the team to go after. So go Wolves. All right. Tim's in the live chat. He says, I think I know the answer, but if you have a current WDW AP, are you able to renew that now, even though the sales aren't active? Yes. You can. That's the only way you can get your AP right now is you can renew a current AP. Correct, Pam? Because that's why I renewed mine, even though like I wasn't going to, but it's one of those things like,
you got to do it now. Yeah.
You feel like if I let the sucker go, you're really in a dilemma right now. Like if you let it go, you may never get it back.
I know. And that is the only way to get it. If you have a current AP, and want to go ahead and get that. We don't know when. Annual passes will be available for purchase again. I know lots of people are looking into it, but I just don't know what that will look like when we move forward.
All right, Kelsey's got a question. Is late night extended hours a good way to ride Cosmic Rewind? Countdown 7 days to Disney. She says, go Cubs. What? We got 5 games, Cardinals, Cubs. Wait, we can't hear you, Cubs fans, from 17 games back.
Oh my gosh.
I had to say that. Okay, so now we'll get swept in these 5 games because I just ran my mouth. Sorry, Cards. Okay, so Ricky, would you riding Cosmic Rewind? Is that a good way? Extended hours?
It is, but you do keep in mind you have to still you have to get the reservation. So you still have to get in the virtual queue. The drop for that happens at 6:00. So just keep that in mind. You will still have to participate in the virtual queue to be able to ride Guardians during the evening hours.
Okay. And Kathy backs that up. She says, yes, we did it during the day and in the extra evening hour.
Yeah,
So
if
you
you
wanna
get
get
to, if you,
yeah.
I know if you're eligible for that, you could potentially ride it 3 times. 3, my friends.
Is that a
3.
good idea?
No.
You can.
At least you have hours in between, but no.
You
Not a good
can. Does that mean you should?
idea.
All right, Wyatt's in here. Hey, OG crew. I love that. I'm really curious your thoughts. Epic Universe is opening in 2025 and construction is already full steam ahead. What will be Disney's response? Do you think they already have plans? Do you foresee this type of announcement coming out of D23? With the amount of time it takes Disney to build, will it be too little, too late? Ricky, this is kind of up your alley because you like the D23 Expo announcement kind of stuff. Well, and you're a Universal person too. So
I am.
what do you say to old Wyatt here?
Wyatt, sorry to tell you, I think you're going to be disappointed. I am not hearing a lot about D23 this year as far as major announcements. Nothing's really even been close to being much in the rumor mill. I think this year Parks fans, especially Walt Disney World Parks fans, are going to be let down in a way as far as the fact that I don't think we're going to get major new announcements. I think this is going to be like the second D23 that they had, where there were announcements, but they were really more like updates on the things that Disney had already announced at the previous D23. So I think that that's what we're going to see this year is they're going to follow up on things like, the Splash Mountain, update. They're going to follow up on Tron. They're going to follow up on Moana. What else they're doing in Epcot, maybe for that middle section. I just don't see a lot of announcements coming for this year's D23 as far as any kind of major construction. So I don't think they're going to have an answer to Epic Universe if that's what you're looking for. I think that, I think that it's going to be a really kind of quiet D23 this year. I'd love to be like surprised and be like, well, pow, here's everything. But I really don't think we're going to see it this year, just based off of, what's kind of coming down the rumor mill that right now. It's not a lot. So.
I mean, I would tend to agree with you, but if you think about what's going on right now, you got the center of Epcot being
right.
Refurbished. You have Creations and Connections just finished. You have Cosmic Rewind just opened in May. You have Ratatouille has just opened in Epcot.
You'll also get details about the Play Pavilion, probably. I forgot about that, but that will probably come out.
And that's kind of minor, but I mean, it's something.
Right.
The thing is, there's a lot happening right now that's going to be, opening here in the next at least 12 months, probably
right.
With Moana, and then Toronto probably open in the next 3 to 4, I would guess. So there's a lot happening. It's not a whole theme park. Don't get me wrong.
No.
The thing is, I don't know. Like, I can only see it from my perspective. Like that theme park, Epic Universe, does not interest me in the least. Like, I think I'm too old. I think I'm just a little bit too old for that theme park.
Nice, buddy daddy. Me and Pam are gonna go have fun at Epic.
The thing is, though, like, I love old video games, but I like old 8-bit video games. Like, I was never like a Nintendo guy. I was like a Atari and Commodore 64 guy. I mean, I might go over there and just check it out. I don't know, Pam, what do you think? I mean, because you can't have everything every year. And the thing is, you still got to remember, Universal is still the underdog in the fight. And the underdog is always the one who has to work harder. I mean, that's just how it is. But I mean, you got to watch it though. When you're the big dog, you can easily get knocked out too if you're not careful. You got to keep up too. So I don't know. How do you feel with all this, Pam?
So, and the Nintendo part of it is only part of it. It's not, that's just a land in what will be Epic Universe. You don't know. There may be a bunch of other things that you are interested in. So I think that's something to think about too. I think that Disney really, while Universal was sort of enmeshed in this new park and continued through COVID to make sure that they were continuing to move forward on this, Disney really put a lot of time and energy into going back to the resorts and redoing. I mean, look at all the resort renovations that we've had, both hard and soft goods, at so many of the different hotels since they have reopened since the start of the pandemic. I was really impressed by that because it probably is not something that every company did, right? Is invest in what is their bread and butter, but Disney did that. They also did some other renovations and are getting to the point now where they're sort of, let's say back on track with a lot of the different things that they were planning to have open. And I'm really looking forward to that. I'm so glad that Guardians is open now and people get the opportunity to experience that. It really has been such a popular ride. But I also think it's really cool how they have brought back some of the things that we know and love, like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. Like we're really seeing all those things that that we did really want to have come back. And I still think it's really impressive when any company is doing it, because if you're in any kind of job anywhere, it's tough to get people to work right now. It just is. And it's tough, from a perspective of finding the right people with the right skills, and all of that are working together. So I have to commend any companies that's doing that. I mean, my experience when I walk outside my home is different everywhere I go to. Absolutely. It is not just theme parks.
Go to your grocery store.
Yes, right? Yeah. And if you provide any kind of customer service to the people that you're working with, just know that has all looked very different too. Like literally at grocery stores, if I have to actually chat or talk with someone about an order I've made, like I can't believe sometimes the things that people who are supposed to be in customer service are saying to me, like pretty much like tough crap, lady. You know what I mean?
You want to know a prime example? I was having this conversation with my wife last night. Okay, so I am the king of the greatest thing that ever happened during COVID. Not that it was ever good, but the drive up thing at Target. Like I never go into Target anymore. I just go to the app and they have the thing where you pull in the parking spot. You pre-order everything, you put it in your cart, you go, it says, I'm on my way, you hit the button, you get there, you say, I'm in parking spot 2. Well, I go in my Jeep all the time, and I always take Riley with me. She sits in the back seat. I don't have any doors or any windows, no top on the Jeep. It's just, regular old Jeep in the summer. In the last 3 times, I've told the person that comes out, I always order 4 boxes of Coke Zero, because that's the max you can order at once. And you get like a Disney or a $5 gift card a lot of times if you order enough. The last few times I've been 3 times, I've said, will you place that in the tailgate? Okay. So do you guys know what the tailgate is on a Jeep? I mean, you know this? Is it a back? It's like the trunk. I mean,
right.
There's a gate on the back. I mean, it's tail, right? There's a gate on the back and tail. Where's the tail on the dog? It's on the back. I mean, it's you context clues. Like I taught 6th grade forever. I mean, if you don't know what a tailgate is, use context clues or ask me. Dude, the last 3 times, one time they put them in the seat next to me because I don't have doors on, so they have access to put them wherever they want. The second time they put them in the floorboard in the passenger seat next to me. The last time last night, they sat him in the back seat next to Riley. If Riley was a mean dog, she'd have bit the person. Like, I mean, but Riley was just like, whoa, all crazy. I'm like, that is 3 times in a row. I've said, will you place them in the Pam's like, they probably have earbuds and they're probably not even listening to you. And they ask me. That is a prime example. I mean, like, it's Target. I think, I get it. Like they're bringing the stuff out, but it's that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, if you're going to ask me, then put them in the spot, if you're not going to, put them where I ask you, just chuck them in wherever you want. Don't take the time to play
toss them from 20 feet.
Yeah, dude, I mean, seriously, if you're just going to put them wherever you want, don't ask, like,
yeah.
So I'll update you next time on Twitter. I'm like, am I the only one that knows what a tailgate is? I came home to Pam. I'm like, Pam, where's the tailgate on my Jeep? Point. Maybe I'm calling it the wrong thing. I don't know. It was crazy. So, yeah,
try calling it the trunk. If you call it the trunk, I bet they will get it.
Maybe I will. Maybe that is the problem. But
yeah,
I've
maybe
tailgate. I don't know. Anyway,
it is. So all that to just be like, all these companies are struggling, and I think it's so much more than we see. It's getting the folks to work and getting all of that. It takes people. I mean, it just takes people to run the theme parks. No matter how much Disney wants something, they can't. Make it really isn't magical. So anyways, that's where
as much as we'd like it to be magical, like it does have real life in it. So yeah.
Yes. Put it in the tailgate. All right. Betsy's here in the live chat. She sent an email in and she has a last minute trip question. So let's get to this one. Hey, BOGP crew, I'm pulling a Scotty G. My daughter does not return to school until September 7th.
Wow.
September 7th.
Wow.
Like mid-quarter? What's going on? And I don't have to work. So I decided we needed one more summer trip. I like the way Betsy thinks. We did sail to Alaska on the Wonder, but I'd like to have a little beach and heat before the fall hits. So we're going to fly to Florida on Sunday, the 28th, spend a few days at the beach with family, and then she and I will check into the Swan and Dolphin for 3 nights. I've never stayed there before, but I thought I'd give it a try because I could book it with points. So it was a no-brainer. And my husband doesn't think I know how to save money. She put a little winky emoji. My question is about transportation. Do buses go to all the parks and Disney Springs? Should I keep my rental car or use the transportation provided? I did book the Halloween party and one other park day, Epcot. But besides that, we're just going to stay in the bubble. I was going to book Sunshine Flyer bus to get us back to the airport because right now the kids ride free, more money savings. But since I'm not familiar with this resort, I wanted to be sure that's the best option. Thanks as always for all the fun chats and useful information. Betsy. All right. So what's the bus? I actually have stayed at the Dolphin one time for a media thing, but I walked everywhere. I didn't ride any buses that time. The buses do go to all the parks in Disney Springs, correct?
I
think they do.
So they made a change to this.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think they made a change.
Right. It doesn't get Disney transportation, I believe.
I think you're right. I think they made that with COVID. Yeah. I actually think you're right. I think they don't get Disney transportation anymore.
Does it take you to the TTC?
I don't know where their particular transportation takes you. The good news is because it's located in that Epcot resort area, you can walk to both Epcot and Hollywood Studios. But if you're going to Animal Kingdom Magic Kingdom,
I'm not entirely sure that they have buses anymore. I know that they used to have buses that it was the Yacht Club, Beach Club, Swan, Dolphin, and Boardwalk, I think, that all got picked up together, which was a pain in the butt, by the way, at that point.
Yeah, it is. That's one of my biggest pet peeves with Disney. There's a few things, the Coke freestyle machines. Yeah. And when you're staying at a deluxe resort, you got to share buses.
Yeah. That was a pain.
They do have their own transportation.
Yes. I just don't think it's Disney transportation.
No,
anymore.
It's not. It's not. So.
It used to be, though, but I think with COVID, that went away. Yeah.
But she's not going to the Magic Kingdom, so she's just going to Epcot.
Well, she is, because she's going to Mickey's Not So Scary
party. Yeah, but I think they drop you off at the TTC for that. I'm pretty sure because I don't remember seeing Swan.
But then you have to be stuck on their transportation schedule, and I don't know if it's as regular as it was when Disney did it. So
I don't know.
It says so here's breaking news as we're looking this up, right? The shuttle buses arrive at the main entrance of each hotel, approximately 20 to 25 minutes to transport guests to the parks. Guests visiting the Magic Kingdom will be dropped off at the Ticket and Transportation Center.
Okay. All right.
So they will have to go from there for that. So I don't know whether I would recommend driving to the Halloween party if you're going to get dropped off at the transportation center anyways. I don't know that there's a downside to the driving thing.
Right. I might drive.
I might
if it's me
too. I might just drive too.
Yeah.
At that point.
I know. Wow, we learned something today because literally, I know that this has changed since.
It has.
At some different point. So looking it up, the Google works. I will say.
Yeah.
Yep. And you could also, if you keep your car, then you don't have to get Sunshine Flyer either. True. You know, I mean, even though the kids ride free, you're going to pay.
You've already got the rental car. Yeah, you got to pay the park. Yeah,
everywhere. So
right.
Another thing to think about, but it gives you flexibility. All right, Ian's got a question. He says, "Hey, Mike, I'm training for the Walt Disney World Marathon, and I'm following the Galloway training plan. I scheduled my long runs during my upcoming trips. I'm staying at Port Orleans Riverside in September and Pop Century in November. Can you tell me about the running trails there? And if they are lit, if I run before sunrise, any tips about the resorts and necessary snacks are welcome. Thanks for all that you do. My kids love the podcast, and so do I. You're playing Disney and playing buddy pal, Ian from Pittsburgh. By the way, who is your favorite baseball player of all time? My son Kyle says Randy Johnson. My favorite player of all time is Adam Wainwright, number 50 of the St. Louis Cardinals. Love the guy. But yeah, Randy Johnson, he is a great player, big left-handed, lanky guy. But forever, when you say Randy Johnson, all I picture is that poor bird that got smoked out.
Oh my gosh, yes.
He made that bird explode. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up Randy Johnson kills bird or something on YouTube. But I'm telling you what, that bird was just in the wrong place.
That bird was,
the guy that threw 100 miles an hour. I'm just saying, like, that was that mockingbird that chases me like all the time at the burrito stand or up the street. I wish that bird would meet the fate of Randy
my
Johnson.
gosh.
You need to get Randy Johnson out of retirement, bring him up and buy him a burrito.
So rude.
Randy, come on now. Just one more fastball for me, buddy. No, that's pretty mean. Okay, so good news for Ian. Back on top. This is a weird show. Back on topic. Great resorts to run at, Riverside and Pop Century. Two of my favorite resorts to run at. Actually, Pop Century has a great loop around Hourglass Lake, and it is lit. You can run anytime, day or night. It's great. There's lights. Good stuff to look at with the Skyliner coming to life early in the morning. I always run before sunrise too because it's not so hot. Good place to run there. And also at Riverside, you can run right along Riverside, and I run all the way under the bridge over to French Quarter. I turn around down by Building 1 at the far end of French Quarter. Sometimes I go out in the parking lot and just kind of swoop around there at the very end, but you can just turn around there at the very end of Building 1 at French Quarter and come on back. And that's a good little loop there too. So both places have lights, and you can run at night or super early in the morning, and they're safe. They're beautiful. There's lots to look at. Great places to run, and they're flat as a pancake. So that's even a win. So what about snacks? Of course, you got the tie-dye cheesecake at Pop Century. Riverside, Pop Century. Anything stand out, Ricky, that you get?
Riverside, the beignets.
Well, French Quarter for beignets.
Oh, well, yeah, but I mean, still, I mean, that's my thing. And yeah, you mentioned the cheesecake. I mean, that's always good. I'm trying to think of what else. All I can think of is beignets now, so that's what I want.
Did I see something that Pop Century got rid of the Pop Century like logo waffles on social media this week? I thought I saw somebody like a big fervor about that, but maybe I just
I don't know. I know that Art of Animation has always had like the different waffles, so that are, you know, the different Disney characters. I don't know if they got rid of the Pop waffle, but I mean, they may just have regular, you know, Disney animal waffles now. I'm not sure.
What about Riverside, Pam? I'm trying to think, because I've stayed at Riverside many times. I know Riverside has a good po' boy. Like if you're looking for something savory, that's a good sandwich. I always have that.
Yeah, there is a burger that has pimento cheese on it. I believe, right? Yes,
that is good.
Yeah, it is. It's good. I think anything with pimento cheese on it is good, though, isn't it? I mean, really, it's on a cracker, on vegetables. We have pimento cheese like in those. We have the Kraft pimento cheese like in that little glass jar with the blue like cap.
Yeah,
so we always have it around the holidays. Like we only get it like around Christmas time. I don't know. Like, is it a Christmas thing? Because we always get that with like Ritz Crackers.
I mean, not here in the South. In the South, it's an everyday.
Yeah, because they have palmetto cheese, which is yum.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I'm talking about it's like orange and it's got like little red flecks in it.
Yeah.
Is that pimento or?
Yeah, that's pimento.
No, it is pimento cheese.
Okay,
yeah, totally. But there's sort of like an incarnation like in the South that sort of has all these different cheeses in it. That's really good too. So.
Now I'm hungry. Okay, so your question here from Swansea Searcher says, we stay in the bubble every trip. Is there a reason to go see the TTC? So the TTC is in the bubble. I mean, it's right there in Magic Kingdom. But, you know, now that this is a good question because really the TTC isn't much, but they should do more with the TTC, don't you think? I mean, back in the day, is there still that gift shop there?
There is a gift shop there. Yeah.
And there's a post-COVID?
Yeah, I think so. And there's a Joffrey's there. So if you want coffee,
there's a
great Joffrey's there. Mm-hmm.
Would you go out of your way though to like go see the TTC?
I mean,
no,
not really.
You know what though? It is a good place to watch the fireworks from. If you're looking for someplace outside of the parks.
That's true.
That is a good. Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, but back in the day, I mean, it was supposed to be such a big deal. Like when Walt Disney World was, conceptualized, it was going to be this massive part of the whole property.
It was going to be the transportation and ticket center.
It was.
Now it's just like a boat or monorail.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Really
Maybe a few buses. Yeah.
And you know what? Here's the other thing. This is totally off topic, but hey, let's go with it.
Yeah, okay.
Remember when you could walk, you could get off one monorail and walk if you were going over to Epcot?
You could walk to Epcot?
No.
You could walk over to the monorail.
Oh, over to the other monorail. Yeah.
On my last trip, they let us do that. We just got to
Really?
just got to go right. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're
We
not
didn't have
allowed
to
to
go- we
the
didn't have to go
last one.
down and around and come back up. No, they let it. It's the little things, right?
It is.
It made my day. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. We just have to cut across.
Especially when
Yep.
it's 150 degrees. That
Oh,
walk
Ellen.
down and then back up seems to take like a day and a half.
Amen. I was
You
so
need
excited.
you need a drink on the way back up.
Can I get a water or something?
Right? There should be a water stand.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's so, and Logan's like, it is a historical site though. I mean, you should see it. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, it is kind of historic. All right. Last question of the day is from Adrienne. She says, hey, Mike and podcast crew. I've been listening to your show ever since episode 1,
Whoa.
Whoa.
the Phantom Podcast. No, just kidding. I just added that in. That's kind of fun. I saw you in the parks on 2 different trips. Once, oh my gosh, it makes me nervous anytime anybody says that because it could have been ugly. Once at the studios and once in the Magic Kingdom, but both times I was too nervous to say hi. What?
Oh, no.
Third time it's going to happen. Make sure you
That's
say.
right.
Yeah.
Let's see. I've been through a lot of changes in the past almost 15 years, but one thing that has always been a constant is the little bit of Disney magic you have brought every week. Thanks so much for all you do for this community. Well, thank you. That is all. How cool is that? She's been with us for 15 years. Almost.
That's
very
amazing.
cool.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of time we've spent together. We've been in
It
Adrian's
is.
side a lot of hours.
That's a lot.
I don't even
Yes.
think about it. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Now on to my questions. We're going to Walt Disney World in late August of 2023, our first trip since 2016. And we're going more luxury this time since we've taken such a long break. We're staying in a standard view room at the Polynesian for 7 nights, our first time there. We are assuming a discount will get released. And if so, should we use the money we save to spend elsewhere or upgrade to a club level room? We're leaning towards the upgrade, but wondering if the lounge and other amenities are really worth it. What would you do? Second piece, is renting a cabana at the pool worth it? We're traveling with friends and thought it might be fun for our down day, but again, not sure if the rental fee is really worth the price or if we would even have just as nice of a time without it. Thoughts? Last piece. Do you think the deluxe amenities like the access to the parks after hours and the ability to not have to go through the Magic Kingdom security will still be there next year, or are these things that will go by the wayside as we come out of the pandemic? I appreciate all the help, Adrienne, and she sent it from her iPhone. Didn't say where she's from, but she sent it from her iPhone. There you go. So, Adrienne, thanks for writing in. It's a great email. So let's hit her questions. Say you hit a discount. This is the philosophical thing, right? Do you take that money and take it for better dining? Do you upgrade your room to club level? Pam, what would you do in this instance? Let's say she hits a discount for next August.
This is a hard choice for me, but the club level is pretty awesome. I'm just going to say this. It makes it a trip to remember. You will always remember that. And let me just tell you, it's just a cool thing. You can go in there for every one of the club levels has a continental type breakfast in the morning. They may have specific offerings that are only available to them. Then there's like what they call sort of an afternoon tea and snacks kind of thing. Then in the evening, they'll have appetizers, both hot and cold, likely. Drinks are available during that time. And then in the after that, then they'll also have desserts and cordials. So there's a lot of opportunities there to get some food that's included with your stay. And I think that's the part that's kind of really cool about that, is that you have this whole other area sort of your room almost, right? It's like an extension of your room, and you can just hang out at the lounge at different times. There's great seating. They usually have television on in certain areas for the kids. but we have used that as an annex sort of to our room. So we all aren't all like sort of hanging out in the room looking at each other, right, during that time. And of course the snacks, yes, a bonus. And the fact if you want to have a drink, those will be available in the evening as well. So I love the club level for so many reasons. At the Polynesian in particular, the club's a great experience because you get to look over and see the fireworks there at the Magic Kingdom. It has great views of the Magic Kingdom fireworks. So it's a great location. And I think I would lean toward that. It just really makes the trip special.
Here's my solution. If you're kind of hemming and hawing. Okay, so if you get the discount for the 7 nights, here's what you do. Because if you're not sure, stay in the room you have for 5 nights. In the last 2 nights, go club level. So you have something to look forward to the last 2 nights.
Sure.
And do most of your theme parking in the first 5 days. And then slow down the last 2 days. That's also when you get the cabana. Yes, you do get the cabana, especially if you have friends. And you could actually split the cost, break it up between 2 families. Then it becomes way affordable. It's an awesome pool day. I mean, you're VIP all the way. Yes, you do that, and you do it for just a couple of the nights, and you feel deluxe at the very end, and that's when you really focus on taking advantage of the lounge, being in the room, and being at the resort and all that. That's what I would do. If you hit the discount, take the discount and apply it, but use it for just part of the stay, the end of it, and I would do it at the end. So, Ricky, what do you say to that ploy?
I like it, actually. I think that's a really good way to kind of get the best of both worlds. So if you wanted to do some nicer dining as well at the beginning of the stay, you could still do that. But then you'd also have the opportunity to enjoy, club level, and then I would get the cabana as well. So you kind of really plus up your vacation in multiple different ways. So I think that that's a really good plan, actually.
So we're horrible because we're always like, do all the things. Yeah. Why just pick one?
Why pick one? Yeah. Why choose one? We're going to give you a way to do every single one that you were talking about.
Exactly.
But see, I try to be reasonable though. Like, I'm not saying you got to get club level for 7 nights, just get it for 2 nights, and pocket some of the savings and take some of the savings to go do a couple of signature meals. Still get the club level room and see the savings and kind of balance, get the cabana, and it all kind of washes out even. That's what I would do. I'm still saying you're not pocketing any money, but you're getting a better experience in the end for what we're paying. Yeah. So, and you'll, like you said, 2016, like you've been waiting almost 8 years for that trip.
Yeah.
You're already at the Poly. You're doing it the best you can. It's awesome.
For sure.
So that's what I would do. So give us some feedback. What do you think? Send your questions, your comments, your thoughts for the cause to Mike at beourguestpodcast.com, and we'll get those rolling for next Wednesday's listener question show. As always, today's podcast has been brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out for all your Disney trip planning needs. They're over at themagicforless.com. Great place to start planning your next Disney getaway, whether it's to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney. All the information you need to get started is right on the website. And while you're there, fill out that free no obligation quote form, and an agent will get back to you right away. So check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. It's one extra click that really helps us out. beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And a sincere thank you to the patrons of the Be Our Guest Podcast. You make all this podcasting possible. We get to put out 4 shows a week all around the world and could not do it without you. And our patrons get that 5th show every week called Mike in the Midwest. If you'd like to join us, come on over, patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Give Ricky a follow this week. She's a Wolves fan. We've converted her. She's at Ricky Nibs. She's heading to the stadium this Friday, I'm sure.
Sure.
At Ricky Nibs, Twitter and Instagram. Pam's at TMFLT Pam. Follow her. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike, and I'll be at Fort Zumwalt North this week with our Vikings. So follow me on Instagram and Twitter and join. Scotty is back from his epic trip. This Sunday night, we'll be taking your calls, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. You, me, and Scotty G. It's the BOGP open line on YouTube and Facebook. All right, we're going to be back again on Friday talking a little, how about dining in the fall? What restaurants would you go to, both counter service and table service at Walt Disney World? Not talking Food and Wine Festival, but just the traditional restaurants. What restaurants remind us of fall type dining at Walt Disney World? We're going to talk about that on Friday. So get ready, get your hoodies, even though it's probably hot where you are. Get your jeans, I don't know, those UGG boots. What's everybody think about in the fall? I don't know. I just wear the same thing, but I think that's what I see on like social media. So anyway, get ready. We're going to talk fall dining at Walt Disney World on Friday. So we'll be there. You be there. We're going to have a good time to kick off the weekend. So until then, for Ricky and Pam, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Wednesday. Get back to work, and we'll see you real soon. All right, I'll put those two together later. Let's see, that's episode 2141, I think. Yep. Part.
No. Oh yeah. Well, it says 2142, but.
Is it? Yep. It is.
Okay.
Let me save that. Yeah, so obviously we'll talk like restaurants that remind us of fall down at Walt Disney World. If you want something fallish to eat.
Cool. Fall at Walt Disney World.
Here we go. Actually, I have. Watch this. Boom. Okay, here we go. 2044, I think. BOGP 2144.
2144.
Yep. Here we go. Welcome to episode 2144 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rahman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're having a great rest of the week and getting ready for an awesome weekend. And you know it is an awesome weekend around here. College football is back this weekend. High school football kicks off officially. I am so happy. Baseball's down the stretch. Things are so good. And Disney vacations are coming up. Man, Run Disney race season will be here before you know it. The Wine and Dine Half Marathon is coming up quick. So everybody's training for that one. Get ready. I know I'm getting ready because I lost my big toenail this past week. So that tells me I'm getting my mouth.
Oh, I'm going to throw up.
Sorry, breakfast. My bad. I should have put a spoiler alert on
I'm
that.
going to throw up.
Hey, we got a lot of runners in the audience and they get it. Like, that's when you know you're putting in your miles. When stuff starts falling off your body, you're getting there. Okay, anyway.
Nope, stop.
That. Yeah, okay, I'll stop. Anyway, so we're going to talk Disney, dining, fall, all the good stuff heading our way here this season as we move into September shortly. We have Ricky joining us from themouseforless.com. Ricky, how's it going? Sorry about that.
It's going good. Although, like, as much as I like fall, because I do like fall, I also still find myself, even though I've been out of St. Louis for years at this point, I still find myself getting a little sad when fall hits because I know that winter's coming and I get that seasonal depression still. Like, I still, to this day, get seasonal depression. Now, it's not as bad as it used to be because winter doesn't last as long here, thank goodness. But I still, like, as soon as fall, like, this cool air starts to come out in the air, I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna have to be stuck with freezing my butt off again. So I'm not like the biggest fan of fall just because I know winter's coming after.
I don't get sad until the national championship football game happens. Then I'm like, oh, dude, when spring training happened, because then that is the worst stretch of the year. But I'm fine, because I'm a huge Christmas fan. But yeah, the fall's awesome because you got baseball play down the stretch, footballs. Oh my God, I love it. And like, it's not so hot, it just doesn't, because the last few months, it's just to exist. You're just like always miserable. You're always like,
I can tend to handle up to December, and then after December, I'm like, no, I'm done. And like December is only the first month of winter, so the first couple of days basically. So I'm like, oh man, yeah. Yeah,
Paige keeps saying how she loves Chicago. And so I keep telling her, check back with me in the middle of January when you're walking to the basketball arena and that wind's blowing 40 miles an hour. And it's like, the wind chill's like 50 below. Yeah. We'll talk.
You're not going to like it as much.
I know she likes it. Anyway, also joining us, we have the coder of the Magic for Less Travel. Not the biggest fan of winter. It's been documented on at least 828 episodes of this podcast. Pam Forrester, what's up, Pam?
It will be my claim to fame.
Hey, it's winter.
For sure. And here's where winter gets to be the worst. February and March
Yep.
is actually.
Yeah, because you're like so close. You're just like,
right.
Fast forward. Exactly.
I know. So leading up to like December, even January, I'm okay. Once it hits February, I'm like, oh, why do I live here? Yeah. And so it's bad. It's bad. But, you have to take the good with the bad. I do love the fact that we have great weather usually around this time of year when it's not so hot, when it starts to cool down in the evenings. And when you're in Florida, around this time of year, it does not start to cool down in the evening. In fact, it somehow seems to get more humid than ever before as the evening goes on. Why or how does that happen? I don't know. But anyways, so,
Yeah, I've been getting a lot, Pam, I've been getting a lot of questions from guests at the Magic for Less that I've been working with about the ability to be able to swim at Walt Disney World in early November over the last couple of weeks. And I'm like, I tell them, like, I'm honest, like I've run races down there many times that same week in November. And I thought I was going to die of heat stroke. I mean, you might get a cool snap, but I mean, a cool snap in early November for Florida lately would probably be like 90. You bring your trunk, what I'm telling them.
It's true. You'll be able to swim. And the other thing that we get a lot of questions on is guests who are sailing and they want to know if the pools will be open on the ships, on the Disney Cruise Line ships. And I'm always like, yes, they will, because you want to know where you're sailing to? The Bahamas.
The Caribbean. Yeah.
Exactly. You're going somewhere where it's warm. And so, no, but the fall's great though. I mean, we got all the thing is you got like, at least like, where a lot of us live, you got the festivals. And one of the things about the fall is you bring out, now I'm not a pumpkin spice person, but I know that's like the rage. Like it's going to be everywhere. Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks, the pumpkin spice lattes and all that fancy stuff, whatever. Give me a good s'more and I'm good. But
I'm here for s'mores. That's I'm here for.
We have those all the time, spring, summer.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing. At Walt Disney World, we're not going to talk about the festivals. By the way, Pam, that's why the Flower and Garden Festival is such a great idea, because people like us that are in like February and January, like, can I please just see a living like blade of
yes, flowers blooming?
Honey, exactly. I will pay big money just to see a flower, and that's
100%.
That's why we're all there in like February. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Today, let's look at fall, because we're moving into the fall season. Kids are getting back to school. Football's happening. It is the fall now, almost a few weeks officially, but we're in that mindset. I think once you get a little taste of cooler weather, which we're getting here in the Midwest, and I think Pam's headed her way. Hopefully, down the south you get a little soon. But what restaurants really kind of remind us of fall? Like if you want to have a taste of like the best restaurant for fall. Now we're talking, 365 restaurants, not a food and wine festival booth or something that comes and goes. I'll lead it off. The first thing that kind of popped into my mind was Geyser Point. That'd be a great fall restaurant, right? Because say you got a little, it's not so hot, like it's oppressive, but you're outside, it's got good food. Now I know that the leaves don't change at Wilderness Lodge. That'd be awesome if they did, because it's outside and it's beautiful, because it's very, it's foresty over there. But to me, I don't know, Wilderness Lodge as a whole kind of has that fall feel to it. Actually very Christmassy, but fall too for some reason.
No, I get the fall feel.
Yeah, for sure.
I would put Geyser Point as a fall-ish type experience restaurant. I mean, that's where I would go. So, Ricky, what about you? Give us a restaurant that when you think fall, like what would you suggest for Walt Disney World?
I don't know what it is. I do know what it is about this restaurant that makes me think fall, and it's actually Boma over at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. And the reason why Boma just kind of reminds me of fall is the fact that they have so many great and delicious soups. And of course, like so many people in the fall, like are dying to have good soup. And so like that to me is just a huge part of the fall season. So they have just really seriously, they are well known for having so many different types of soup on their buffet. So you add that along with all the great meat carvings and all the great flavors that they have that are, African inspired. And of course, you've got all the desserts, the zebra domes. Hello. I mean, just it's a fantastic restaurant overall. But the thing that really makes me think of it though is they have this fantastic like pumpkin soup, and it's so good. Or maybe it's butternut squash soup. It was one of the two, but it was such a good soup that like I went to the Mara later that night and brought a bowl home because they actually sell it at the Mara too. So I'm pretty sure it was pumpkin. But anyway, I did take it home in my purse. Yes, exactly. So so I'm all here for Boma and their soups because it's so good.
I 100% co-sign that. That's a great because they have a chowder there that is just like, it's like crack to me. Like I go there and you pay all that money for that buffet and I just keep going.
And all you want to do is eat soup. Yeah, exactly.
Just give me the jug and just let me just let me just pull it down my throat. It's that good. I don't even know what's in it, but it is so good. I can get all this other stuff like Mike, save room for zebra domes. Nope. Just fill up on chowder. It's but it's perfect fall foods.
It is.
Good restaurant. Okay, Pam, what about you? We're thinking of fall foods, fall restaurants. Where are you going?
So something that always for me seems like someplace I want to go in the fall or the winter is Hoop-de-Doo. Because I think, first of all, that's the kind of food that you sort of want when it's sort of getting colder out, right? You have fried chicken, you have ribs, you have mac and cheese, baked beans, stuff like that. That to me is sort of a fall thing. But it really is kind of cool to see like all the dancers and things like that. And there's something about Fort Wilderness too, when it's starting to get colder out. Like you can smell all the campfires and like that's actually appealing at that time of year, as opposed to when it's 100 degrees, like you don't really think to yourself, gosh, I wish I could sit next to a campfire.
Oh yeah, could I get a little more heat, please?
Yes, right, because it's just not quite hot enough out here. But yeah, I love the idea of that. Just it's the whole vibe, and I think that's a great fall restaurant.
No, I'm right with you there. Yeah, it's totally. Yeah, because I always think of like we always had a thing at our church in the fall. It was always in the fall, and it was called Roundup. And like it was Roundup Day, I guess. And we had service outside at the park near our church. And like that was the day. This is when you're a kid, like you got so excited about this, this Sunday every year. Like you wore your cowboy gear to Sunday school.
Oh
like,
yeah,
like your bandana and your jeans and your cowboy boots. This if you're from Missouri, you did this. And but then like after service they would have a big you'd eat baked beans out of like a tin can. It was totally that feel. But I mean that again, we did that like in September, October, totally fall thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Cowboy beans. Okay, that's what we had. So mine, and Jessica said it's the perfect. I mean, it's Thanksgiving. I mean, in Thanksgiving's fall, it's Liberty Tree Tavern, right? I mean, you go there, it's Thanksgiving meal. It's right there in the Magic Kingdom. It's in Liberty Square. Liberty Square reminds me of the fall. It reminds me of Thanksgiving. The Revolutionary. I don't know. The Revolutionary period just reminds me of Thanksgiving. The fall. Yeah. And I mean, you can eat stuffing anytime, but God help you when you eat it when it's 100 degrees. I mean, because trust me, I've done it. Scott and I went down there right after the parks reopened in 2020. Was that 2020? I can't remember now. Yeah,
2020.
It's like 3 weeks after the parks opened, and we had the last ADR at Liberty Tree, and we ate forever. Like we were the last ones in the restaurant. We were talking our waitress Sandy. We talked with her, and she just kept bringing this stuff out, and we just ate and ate and ate. And I mean, I had so many mashed potatoes and so much mac and cheese and so much turkey and stuffing. And it was like early August. I mean, it was so hot. And the park closed that night like at 6 or 7. It was still light out when the park closed because it was that weird time. And I just remember I was like, oh, I'm in so much pain and it's so hot. I'm going to die. So cooler weather for that kind of food is a blessing. I mean, because
for sure.
Unless it is a little, under 90. There should be a warning on the door like it is above 90. Eat this stuffing at your own risk.
At your own risk. Fill up on salad, folks. Exactly. That's what it should say.
Easy on the carbs. Yeah, please. It is the heat index is 107. You may not make it back to your bus. I'm just saying it's a 50-50 proposition. No, but Jessica put that with some great, leaves and turkey emojis. That's perfect. So Jessica. Yes. All right, Ricky, what else for the fall?
So, I mean, sticking around in that area with Liberty Tree, I am actually going to say Columbia Harbor House. Again, it kind of goes back to what you were talking about. Like, I am not in the mood for like fried fish or fried chicken, like strips or They have chowder there as well in the middle
Good
of summer,
clam
but
chowder. Good clam
yeah,
chowder.
great clam chowder.
I eat that in the middle of July, even though I punish myself. It's so
Yeah.
good. Though. Yeah.
But the fall, okay, that makes it okay to kind of like go on in there, mosey your way in, get some fish, get some chowder, and just enjoy. And then go up to the second floor and, look down on, Liberty, Square. And it's a great, great experience. So, I mean, I'm all for Liberty Tree Tavern not Liberty Tree Tavern, Columbia Harbor House in the fall, because you're not going to leave there feeling completely awful necessarily. Like if I left in the summer, I would regret my life choice at that point. So,
which I do many times because
Yeah.
here's a problem. Like, okay, so I go there and you get like, I always either get the lobster roll. A lot of times I get the lobster roll because like I don't get seafood at home. Again, my family doesn't eat seafood. But then what happens is my family gets their things, but they never finish their things. So they're like, do you want this? And I'm like, okay, fine. I'll have these extra 2 hush puppies. Do you want that extra 2 chicken strips? Yeah, I'll have those too. So then by the time I'm walking out there, I'm like, oh, if I'd have just eaten my meal, I'd have been good. But everybody, it's like you're paying all that money. I don't want to let it go to waste. Don't throw that away. I'm going to eat that chicken strip. I don't need it. I'm just going to dip it in the. And here's another thing. Let me just off topic. We were off topic Wednesday. We're going back there. Do the dipping sauces at Walt Disney World taste really way better, even though they're like just Heinz? To me, they do. Like the Heinz mustard sauce, honey mustard, tastes better there. I don't know why.
Huh.
I guess you should just buy
What?
it at home. Yeah, like I like
Yeah, no, that's just you.
It's Heinz.
No, that's just you.
Something fancy. I like it better. I don't know.
That's just you.
I don't buy it at home. Anyway, Pam, give us another restaurant. What do you got for fall?
So this one's going to be sort of an odd one, but Ale and Compass over at the Yacht Club. And the reason why is first of all, when you walk in through the lounge area, there's like a faux fireplace there, right?
Yes,
it's sort of cozy and warm, but the whole resort, the whole restaurant is sort of in darker, this dark navy color, and it's dimly lit. And they have some really good options, especially when it gets chillier. They have this roasted lemon chicken that is fantastic. I'm telling you, everyone I've recommended it to comes back to me later and is like, what is it with that chicken? Why is it so good? And I'm like, I don't know, but it's just so tasty. So that's one of the things that you can try there. But they have so many great things. They have a seafood pot pie. I believe they also have some good soups, like a chowder of some sort, lobster bisque or chowder or something. Anyways, lots of good food options, and it's just a great spot. That makes me think of just cooler weather.
Yeah, something should only be on the menu, like below a certain temperature, like a pot pie. Like a
Right.
pot pie. I love pot pies. Like when we grew up, my mom would make. They were like the pot pies. I guess they came like out of a box. Like,
oh yeah.
But,
Yeah.
The thing I remember about the pot pies, like it took like an hour to cook in the oven. Like they took forever in the oven.
And we're like lava when they came out.
Yes.
Yes, that too. I remember like my mom would make, and I love these pot pies, but my mom would put them in the oven, right? And they would cook for like an hour. So the whole time, like it's cooking, I was snacking. And so by the time the pot pie would be done, I'd be almost full because I'd eaten chips or something, waiting for the pot pie to come out of the oven. But anyway, the thing is, like, I like to get a pot pie at a restaurant because typically you don't have to wait as long, or maybe, maybe get a salad or something while you're waiting for your pot pie. But the thing is, like, a pot pie should be illegal to serve at Walt Disney World, like in July. Like that's something they should only serve from like November to like March. I just don't think you could appreciate it, if it's 24/7.
It's probably not heavily ordered through the summer months. I'm gonna say they're probably like, pre-bake about 2 of those pot pies.
Yeah, and that's all we'll have for the day.
Yeah, I've had it at Ale. You said at Ale and Compass, that is the one I've had, and that thing rocks. I did have that. I think it was over Marathon weekend. That thing's huge. Oh my God, that's a great pot pie. Yes, I remember that now. That is one of the best. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Okay, here's mine. Mine is over at Riverside, and it is boat rides. And I don't know why this reminds me of the fall. I've only had this at boat rides, and I've had it twice. And both times it was in the fall. I think it was like over marathon. It was over race weekends. So it was either like a marathon weekend or wine and dine or something. And I'm trying to jambalaya. Is that kind of like the soup stuff? It's kind of like a stew. Because I've only had it there. There's
gumbo. And then
there's a jambalaya. Yeah. It's like with it's over rice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that stuff was so good. But I mean, again, that to me, I don't know, because I'm not from like New Orleans or the deep South, but that was so tasty. And that's the only 2 times I've ever had it in my life, was both times at boat rides, but both times it was in the fall. And I was like, this is a great fall food. I don't know why
Right?
people have it in the spring. Maybe people have it for Christmas. I don't know. But this stuff, I associate that with the fall, and it was awesome.
No, that was going to be on my list too.
Was it boat rides?
Yeah, because they have like cornbread,
Yeah,
and
totally.
they have like collard greens, and things like that. They have a shrimp and grits, and a Nashville hot chicken. So like all those things, I was kind of feeling like that's sort of like a cooler weather type vibe going on there. So I totally agree.
Cornbread. Yeah, the cornbread to like sop up like the end of your jambalaya there.
There you go.
Oh, man, that's one of those places that nobody thinks about. So if you're looking for an ADR, but you know what? Here's the thing though. That one sometimes can be hard to get, and you walk past there and you're like, there's a bunch of empty tables. But I think it's like they don't staff. I don't think they staff that restaurant really that often.
And it's a big restaurant too, when you really think about how much space there is in the restaurant.
That's good stuff, man. I'm telling you that. Oh man, I could go for that tonight instead of Taco Bell after the show, but that ain't happening because I don't think we have any of that around here. All right, Ricky, give us. Let's go one more. This is gonna be a super long show, but just something to think about here on a Friday for the fall trips.
So I don't know really what it is that makes me think of this, but as for fall, but I think it's just because the food is usually so heavy and rich that I'm not really wanting it in the middle of summer, even though I think that's pretty much when I've eaten there. And that's going to be at Chefs de France in Epcot. It's such good food, but it is so heavy and so rich. I mean, there's really thick mac and cheese that you can get, and, different dishes that serve like heavy mashed potatoes, and it's a very heavy meal to me, and so I would highly suggest not eating that in the summer and maybe choosing like a fall time to eat that, just so you're not like walking out of there going, why did I decide to eat Chefs de France right in the middle of summer? So yeah, that's my guess.
Well, should you hold off on that till like it's one of those days where you're freezing, you got frostbite, and you're just like, oh
yeah
exactly. Put on like an extra layer of fat to get to the exits.
Yes.
Just got to make it back to my hotel. I got to buy some mittens.
Right.
It's so weird how Walt Disney World, like the weather can bite you like in different ways. You don't think about it. There are extremes there, because I mean, there's been times where I am seriously, I could not be hotter if I was walking on the surface of the sun.
Right.
Multiple times at Walt Disney World. But there's also times at Walt Disney World where I am sure I'm going to lose a digit off my fingers because it is so cold. Like the cold hits harder there for some, and it's not like I have way colder temperatures in St. Louis. Like, we get like down to like 10 below air temperatures, and like 30 below wind chill. It doesn't do that in Orlando, but there's something about that feel when you're in the parks, man. There's times where I'm just like, it is painful. I don't know why. It's so weird.
Well, I think because at home you don't spend all day outside. You're not like, oh, it's January. I'm going to get up this morning. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to spend all day outside. It'll be awesome.
Yeah, it's true.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Like I'm not leaving the house today. It's going to hurt. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Lisa's correct. She said it's a wet cold. It is like
it's true. It is a wet cold.
It's absolutely it is. It's a damp cold that you. And the thing is, like when you like in the winter, we're talking fall, but in the wintertime when you get cold at Walt, it's hard to like warm back up. Like if I cold in the morning, I like my bones stay. And I know I'm older. My bones like stay cold like into the evening. Like I got to go sit by a fireplace like Grandpa. I need a rocker and like a book. Like I'm done. Anyway, Pam, give us one more fall restaurant.
All right, so here's one that I'm thinking of. Sebastian's Bistro. Since they have gone to sort of a pre-plated or a family style meal, it's sort of an all you care to enjoy, right? So it starts with rolls, and then you have a salad, but then you get into things like oven roasted citrus chicken and mojo pork and flank steak and things like that. So I think that that's something that sort of lends itself to fall and thinking about that. Plus, you're going to end with coconut pineapple bread pudding. And if that, of course, it's going to have caramel sauce. And if that isn't a fall dish, I'm not quite sure what is.
Sounds good to me. Totally. And I would say too, like here back in the chat, Lisa, who's down in Mobile, Alabama, said Cape May Cafe because it's New England seafood that kind of reminds her of the fall. Do we all kind of go with that? I would say yes.
Yes, yeah, I agree. And they have soups too, and all the seafood, the clams, the mussels, all of that. So
let's kind of go a bonus round here and try to come up with like a sweet treat for the fall. Like what's a good, because I mean, we think of like the Dole Whip. I mean, that is to me, when I think of Dole Whip, that's best had in the summer. Your Mickey bar, that's your summer treat. For me, when the first thing, and this is so dumb, first thing I think of in the fall, something that I would really want like on a kind of a really comfortable evening at the Magic Kingdom, I want that pink Joffrey's donut.
That's funny.
Are donuts not kind of a fall thing? I mean, I guess they're a 24/7 like all year thing, but I think it would be like it seems like it would hit better in the fall. I love those donuts, man. They're dense and they're so good. Oh man, I'd pay like $15 for one tonight if I could get one. That's my fall sweet treat. So Ricky, what fall sweet treat would you get? Something, like the Dole Whip goes to summer. What goes to fall for you? Oh, Joe's
usually it's something kind of like cakey, or how you mentioned s'mores earlier, s'mores flavored or pumpkin flavored. So if it's anything either s'mores or pumpkin flavored, I'm usually here for it. So I don't have like a specific like example, but if it's got s'mores or pumpkin flavoring in it, I'm probably gonna get it.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely fall. I mean that's totally like, I mean you put that on Instagram, like
exactly.
Hey, I'm falling.
Yeah. I'm here.
I'm falling.
Yeah.
Okay, Pam, give us a sweet treat because Joe's in here in the live chat. He says confectionery candy apple. I mean, he wins.
That's the winner. Yeah, that's the answer. So that good because it gives me the perfect excuse to say I don't love a lot of sweet things. So if I have the perfect evening and I'm walking around, you know what I'm going to grab? A beer. From Baseline Tap House. I'm gonna sit there. It's gonna be perfect weather. I'm gonna get a beer flight so I can try a few of their different beers and just enjoy and watch the world walk past me there at Hollywood Studios. Now it's making me like think about, okay, I need to book a trip specifically to go to Baseline Tap House.
This whole show's got me so excited to go down and like snack on all these, like go to these restaurants we talked about, because I mean, this is like a chill vacation. If you do these things, snacking and dining and
it's perfect to eat outside weather.
Yes, totally.
Exactly. I love this. Yeah. Now I'm getting ready. I'm thinking about when the weather's going to be perfect for me to plan this trip.
It'll still be hot in the fall, but we're just pretending like it'll be super nice. We're pretending it'll be 65 for the high, 50 for the low.
There you go.
But
no, a little warmer than that. Yeah. Let's go 75 for the high, 65 for the low.
That was, what that was called? That was called my Disneyland vacation.
Yeah, right.
Awesome. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. It was so great. And Joe adds the carrot cake at the Hollywood Studios. That's a great fall snack as well. And Jessica with cheddar cheese soup in Canada. There's your good snack. You're like savory snack. People are chucking that stuff down.
And she mentions maple treats. They have the maple popcorn that is only available at the Canada Pavilion. So that's a good option too.
Everybody, sorry if you're running today. Again, this was a bad show. But if you're going soon, I mean, that's, this is something to think about. If you're traveling here in the next few months, maybe grab one of these restaurants for an ADR counter service or grab some of these snacks. And Betsy in the live chat says, yes, Pam, my 10-year-old now loves Baseline. That's interesting. She looks forward to the strawberry lemonade. That's cool. That's awesome.
See, they always have some non-alcoholic options. So yeah, I agree. And we're sorry, Betsy.
There you go. Watch that kid. Okay. That's going to do it for today's show. A little bit shorter show, but we had a longer show on Wednesday and we have a lot of shows each week. So we'll give you 10 minutes here to have with your family this weekend. Enjoy it. A little shorter show. All right. Don't forget today's podcast brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out for all your Disney trip planning needs. The agents are standing by this weekend to help you plan an amazing Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, or Adventures by Disney trip. Check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link as you shop online this weekend. It would really help us out. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And a sincere thank you to the patrons of the Be Our Guest Podcast. You make all of this possible, and I thank you so much for that. You help us put out these 4 shows a week all around the world, and our patrons get that 5th show called Mike in the Midwest every week. If you'd like to get in on that, come on over, patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Give Ricky a follow again. She's at the Wolf Stadium tonight, I'm sure, for Friday Night Lights, at Ricky Nibs on Instagram and Twitter. Give her a follow. Pam's at TMFLT Pam. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike. I'll be looking for you on the social media to talk to you this weekend. And don't forget, this Sunday night, it's you, me, and Scotty G. Scott's going to be talking about his trip. He golfed. He had some great meals. He went to the H2O glow nights. He did the Halloween party. They did it all, man. We got so much to talk about, but most importantly, we're taking your calls for the hour. So join us on Facebook and YouTube Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. In about 48 hours, we'll be talking to you. All right, we're going to get out of here and let you get on with your weekend. So for Pam and Ricky, I'm Mike. Wishing you a great Friday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Dude, I was about to start sneezing, so I'm glad I got that out.
If that show doesn't make you hungry, nothing does.
Oh,
Right?
Tell me about that, man.
Exactly.
All right, we're not
All
going
right.
Okay.
I'll see you
All
guys
right,
next
see you
week.
next week.
Yeah,
Same
see you
time, same
everyone.
place.
All
Bye,
right.
y'all.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.